Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to talk about the Maimed Saga. We are continuing our journey to complete, and what we're in now is Act 2. Now, if you recall from our last episode, we had... Well, here, let's light the place up a little bit, shall we? We had timely talked to the Van Gant sister, the one who sent the letters in the first place, Jellica. Now we have a map of Lake Navatra, a couple of doors, painting over here, bookshelf, the fireplace, and another door. So let's check the map out first, shall we? We're supposed to investigate basically this curse. This is a map of the surrounding area showing the village, Lake Navatra, and the encircling mountains and forests. Review locations you've marked on the map. Which would you like to review? Navatranasu. Navatranasu lies on the southwestern bank of Lake Navatra and is clustered around a small, wind-sheltered cove. This particular vale in the Great Peaks is deep enough that the temperature rarely dips far enough to freeze the lake, though it has happened on occasion. Verona, what do you think our next move should be? Unless you plan for me to draw my cards and let Lady Luck pick our destination at random, there's nothing this map will do for us now. Let's see what we can learn around here. Leave the map alone. Okay, so basically the map will teleport us to the location, so a way to just quickly get around. We got a fireplace. This roaring fireplace has 2 plush and inviting chairs near it. Take a seat, leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. I guess we can come here and just chill. Bookcase. Oh, now we're talking. Wind by the fireside. Okay. I'm not going to read through all of this. I'll do that some other time, folks. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything important here. I mean, there might be some clues, like a puzzle or something. We can come back to it later. Now we have a bed. You should join me in here, young lady. Oh, the bed looks awfully comfortable. Sleep 8 hours, wait until dusk. Note, this will not restore HPs. Okay, leave this bed alone. Okay, so apparently time is a factor. What I mean by that is, sounds like daytime and dusk. You know, going at night, for example, versus going out during the day could be an issue. So that might be what that's for. Kind of like the, what do you call it? The sundial that we saw outside. Now we have armor that was empty. Painting. This painting depicts a triumphal procession into a walled city you recognize as Waterdeep to the uniquely shaped crenellated towers on the castle ward. The plaque reads, Triumphal Procession DR 1156. Well, okay then. I'm sure that'll come into play later. And we got another painting. Let's go look at this one. It looks like a portrait of somebody. This painting depicts a timelessly beautiful elven woman, hair cascading around her face to rest upon worn leather armor. The metal plate on the frame says only Jostle de Tilensa. She's beautiful. I wonder who she is. Who says she's real? Nothing, I guess. I assume she was. Why would they have a name otherwise? Jostle de Tilensa. Could be a fictional character. Yeah, it is possible. Jellica could clear it up. Maybe we should ask next time we see her. That's something to ask her. Gotta say though, that hair is fake. No way her hair looks anything like that. Why do you say that? Look how long that is. Do you have any idea how much of a pain it would be to venture in that? No way you can fight with it. Such thick and lustrous locks weaving about you. Well, maybe she tied it up in a ponytail. She tosses you a playfully perturbed look. Must you ruin all my fun? What joy is left in life if I can't make fun of fashions and paintings? But of course, by all means, have at it. Thanks, but I think I'm done. For now. Fake here and, remind me to tell you about your boots sometime. Sure, right after we discuss your belt. She turns and gazes at you in disbelief. You're quite sure you've offended her until her gape slowly spreads into a smile as she winks playfully, turns and walks off. Leave the painting alone. I like messing with my teammates. He's a nice kid. Alright, and this must be, what, her room? She has a bed in here. Another painting. Armoire. Empty. I'm seeing a little glitch here. This painting depicts a middle-aged man with boyish features wearing the robes of the Tyrian clergy. Though the style is from centuries ago, his hand is on the shoulder of a man clearly afflicted with a horrid disease. The plaque reads, St. Dunstan and the Leper. Doing God's work, taking care of the sick. Okay. Well, we have another door, and that's got to be our way out. Yep. Okay, let's head on out of here. So we got, what, a hallway. You know, I probably should buff up. Oh, I've lost my spells. Or at least they didn't give them back to me. Maybe that's the trick. Alright, well, I'm going to magic weapon myself. So that, as you can see, I do some extra damage. And have a better attack bonus. Yay me. We really need to get to town to sell this stuff off too. Alright, so we got a door, another door. We'll hop around. Ooh, what the heck? Yeah, we'll come back to here. That looks like a lot of reading. So we have a library. Yeah, small room. I like small rooms. Small rooms are easy. Ooh. Oh, from right there, I thought those were lighting up like I could interact with. Was that supposed to be like light outside? Like, we'd call it stained glass. As you can see, we have light on the ground. Oh, we have an altar. Oh, this must be where we pray to get our stuff. Oh, holy water font. Let's look at that first. Holy water font. This font would normally be used to hold holy water. The water currently in it, however, is clean, though plain. The altar will need to be properly configured and blessed before the font can be used. Okay, I have a bless spell. Altar. This altar looks to be well kept. The wood paneling is regularly dusted, the richly colored cloth is well groomed, and the tapestry is immaculately clean. Yet there is something decidedly wrong. Several items of worship which should be present at any normal altar do not seem to be present. As you focus inward, looking deep into the recesses of your mind in which you find Tyr, you are saddened to realize he isn't here. This chapel, as nice as it is nothing but sterile stones and stained glass windows. While this would make an excellent place to conduct your daily prayers, they will be ineffective until you can restore Tyr's presence. As a member of Tyr's clergy, you can of course bless the altar and rededicate it to Tyr, but it makes little sense to do this before several accoutrements are collected and presented to also receive your blessing. The first is a book of Tyr's holy scriptures, and writes a necessity for performing the complex rituals the Maimed god requires. The second is a chalice made of pure silver that can be used to drink from Tyr's holy water. The third set is a set of scales, Tyr's symbol, that is necessary for many of the rituals and also as a tool for entering trances for meditation. Once these three things are acquired, it should be a trivial matter to re-establish Tyr's presence here. And we got a journal up there. Let's take a look at this. The Van Gaunt Chapel. The chapel in the Van Gaunt mansion has been well cared for, but does not have the accoutrements required for religious services. In order to use it for prayer, and therefore to recover your spells every day, you will need to find the following three items: a set of scales, a silver chalice, and a Tyrian prayer book. And now, of course, we had the Curse of the Van Gaunts was updated yesterday. I don't think I read through this, so let's actually check it out, shall we? The Curse of the Van Gaunts. The curse affecting the Van Gaunt family surfaced almost immediately after the town's founding. Every generation, with only a single exception, a member of the family mysteriously vanishes, following the dramatic appearance of a fire-bathed wolf, the so-called Beast of Navatranasu, in the hills around town. The only exception was the very first appearance in DR 1197, in which Lord Bale and his younger brother Aeson both disappeared. The last occurrence was only months ago, when Jellica's own brother, Lord Jason III, disappeared. Well, alright. Okay, so, looks like we have a duty. If I really want to get my spells back, I need to find those items. Let's continue to explore a little bit, shall we? What have we got in here? Anything? What is this, like school or something? They got their homeschooling. Uh-oh. Yeah, podiums and whatnot. Alright. Again, we have the library. We should probably go to check out the library here in a little bit. It's probably got the books we need. Okay, this is just someone's room. Probably what's her face is the LeHue. Alright, anyway. What else do we got? Another door. You mean my you. Uh-oh. That's LeHue Janus. Oh, and she has a separate room here. Let's go talk with her.
Hello.
Yes, why are you bothering me again? Do you know anything about the curse of the Van Gogh? I know that the lady lives in constant fear of it, that her brother, the good Lord Jason III, was the most recent victim, and that the Tyrian Church again failed to act against it. Look, the library's got several books on the subject. Go read if you're interested. I know nothing that is not common knowledge, if that's what you seek. Okay, excuse me. Mouthy. Ooh, this is her pet, huh? Tapestry, let's go explore. This tapestry looks to be a family's armorial bearing, though it's not one you're familiar with. A powerful eagle soars on the field of green, holding a ribbon in its beak, upon which is written the motto, to live and serve. The tapestry is otherwise quite plain. This coat of arms is completely unlike any of the others found in this mansion. It is clearly not that of the Van Goghs. Lore failure, ah boo. Ah, lore success. Ah, well, we just gotta keep going at it then. Nice. And I got me some XP. Lore success. There is something a little off about the coat, though. There are no divisions of the field, for example, and though this is not entirely unorthodox, it is odd for such a field to not have the charge, i.e. the image, in this case, the eagle, occupying a central position. Yeah, that's true. The Van Gogh armorial bearing similarly has no division of the field, but in contrast to the tapestry before you, in that case, the osprey is prominently displayed and centered, thus conforming to the orthodox, though slightly less common convention. Chest over here. Can we pick it? Success not possible. Oh, boo. So close, guys. I need another point and open lock to open that one. And a mirror. This mirror is highly polished with a slightly blue tinge to the reflective surface. The frame appears to be made from silver and is quite detailed. Oh, appraise failure. Let's give it another go, shall we? Ah, boo. Well, if we were to appraise it, if I were to make a guess, that meant it was worth some money. Whoa, what the hell are we? Big hall. Okay. We have downstairs. Yep. And over here. So we have another room. Another library, perhaps? Okay, we got something over here. Suit of armor. This rusting suit of armor sits idly in the corner, unpolished for decades. It is a sad reminder of faded opulence. Yay, faded opulence. Just because I don't want the light to wear off me. Wears off me, then it's okay because she has it on her. And we have it downstairs. It looks like more rooms. Now this was the library we saw a moment ago. And it looks like we got a whole bunch of doors down this hallway. So let's take them in order, shall we? Ooh. Another room. Dresser mirror. This dresser and mirror set is still in reasonably good condition, especially as it does not seem to have been maintained very well. Upon closer examination, you note that there is a metal tag on the side with the inscription, "To my dearest Strela, from Mummy, DR 1298. Nothing in the dresser. Nothing else in here.
Yes.
Follow me, kid. And you're going this way. Nothing in this room. There's a lot of bedrooms. Well, this is kind of a depressing room. Jeez Louise. You have a dresser in this one. Definitely got a bookshelf. Must be for guests or something. Dust of Paragon the Just. Oh, I thought it said dust. Bust of Peregrine the Just. This bust is made of a unique yellowish stone and is crafted with exquisite detail. The plaque in the base reads Peregrine the Just. Well, alright. We got a room in a room. Oh, there's Jellica. Before we go talk to her, let's explore some more, shall we? Ooh, wow. Check out the mosaic. This mosaic depicts a massive battle between a horde of orcs and a human army led by a large muscular man with a handlebar mustache, holding aloft a banner displaying the colors of the lords of Neverwinter Nights. The plaque reads, Jason vanquishes the orcish hordes. Woot woot. Oh, we had a spellcraft there. Boom. You can check that out again. Here's the window. The view from this window is spectacular. The autumnal landscape is littered with the myriad colors of turning trees, and the crisp, snow-crusted hills exude a calm serenity that is somehow at odds with the violent movement of the clouds whipping across the sky. Okay. Alright, well, let's go back to that mirror. I want to go check that out, see if it'll let me recheck it. Not that one. Here. That's over here. Thinking we're missing out on a lot of things here by not having high enough stats. Yeah, it won't let me do it again. That sucks. Ah, man. Boo on you, sir. Okay, well, let's close that door to come back to it, because that's where she's at. We can go downstairs, library. I'm going to cut this out, guys, unless there's something important in here. It sounds like we're going to have a lot of books to go through. Alright, folks, we're back. Now, I've gone through the library. I haven't really read a whole hell of a lot in great detail. There are a lot of different tomes in here, nothing that appears to be something we need. There are some that are pretty humorous, though, so you should totally have a look at it. However, we did get a journal update when we tried to get to this door in the library that was locked. Locked door in the library. You have found a locked door in the library on the upper floor of the Vanguard Mansion. As it is the only locked door you have found, it is odd enough that perhaps you should ask Jellica about it. So that sounds like something we're going to want to do. We still, of course, have to do our Vanguard Chapel. We have yet to go downstairs. We're going to just go do that now. And I really want to get to town. A, because we have some stuff that we want to sell. B, I want to ask around town, see if anybody has some info for us before we start hitting Jellica up for more stuff. We still have the key, so we have a couple of buildings in town to explore. And I want to see if any of the stuff that I need to get the chapel up and on its feet could be useful. So let's see, over here, what the hey is all this? We have half-finished painting. This painting is still only a color's outline, but it already clearly the visage of Jellica Van Gaunt. She's making a painting of herself, or someone's painting. Oh, maybe that's the Hughes' job, is to paint her up. Looks like we have a memorial of sorts for all the different Van Gaunts. Bale, Esmeralda, Assen Van Gaunt, Jason II, Strela Van Gaunt, Alred, Helena, Jason I, the Valiant, Peregrine the Just, Alred II the Pious, Esmeralda II the Huntress, and of course Jason III. This is the one that left. So apparently they're filling the room with all the people that got stolen away. Well, that's a lot of people missing. Okay, this was where, yeah, this is our front door. Of course, we have stairs again to get back upstairs, I imagine. Let's head back this way, though. We have doors on the side. Let's check them out. Okay, we do have that one library hidden. Kind of irritates me. We can't get into it. More books, exotic weaponry. Is this anything useful? Yeah, it just looks like more books. There's nothing wrong with that. It has a nice flavor to the game, I'd say, but if we want to really do something of merit. Ooh, weapon rack. Now we're talking. This rack holds a number of blackened and dull weapons. So leave the rack alone. Oops. That was not quite what I was hoping for. A stuffed deer head lights up like a Christmas tree. And that would appear to be all. This buck is an impressive specimen indeed. The 12-point rack is easily as wide across as your arm span, and the jaw is lined with a long white beard that gives it the appearance of great age. The glazed eyes now gaze sadly at you from across the decades. The animal must have been a wonder in life, but like everything else around here, what now remains is but a pale reflection of the glory that once was. I've never understood the need to kill an animal just to stick its head on the wall. Nor I. Ugh, I just don't even want to look at it anymore. It makes me a little angry, to be honest. Leave the deer alone. Yeah, I am a former hunter in that I hunt during hunting season. But I always aspire to shoot the animal once, do your best to make sure you kill it in one shot, and so they don't suffer. And quite frankly, the animal is there for meat, and that's about all it's there for. And while I wouldn't be adverse to having a rack mounted on the wall, I suppose, you can't eat antlers, guys. So we always did A tags, B tags, whatever they basically sold. So if I can shoot a deer and line my freezer, more power to us. Okay, there's another room, a dining hall perhaps. A big hugging mansion, boy. I'm tired of not being able to see myself now. Oh. Okay. Log book. This book is a log of all the foodstuffs and materials that come into and leave the kitchen. Flip through the book. The recent entries have been signed off by Grayson of the groundskeeper, but the book is thick enough to contain entries going back decades. Wow. It seems as though house stock in earlier years was controlled by either the head chef or a position called master of the larder. The earliest entry dates from 12 chefs DR 1324, while the latest is from just yesterday. What you find most striking is how much food was consumed by the manor in prior years as compared to today. Even as recently as 25 years ago, enough food was brought in to feed 20 or so people. It is yet another sign that the manor has seen a precipitous decline in recent times. Leave the book alone. Yep, they're losing people left and right. That's not cool. So we've got a door here. Anything? It's nothing. See, we're looking for scales, we're looking for a chalice, and we're looking for a book. Basically, Tyr's version of a Bible, so to speak. Barrel. Yeah, torches, we'll take those. Finally. Oh, looks like we found someone's room. Drunk. Leather boots and leather gloves. Mine. And a bookcase. Herbs of the woods. Blood moss, recognizable by the reddish tint of the underside of the tri-lobe leaves. It is useful as a clotting agent and is often used for cleansing wounds. Cold snaps, such as those in the upper reaches of the mountains of Faerun or in the climes north of Neverwinter, tend to break the spirit of the mugwort vine. Even samples imported from the south wither at the first hard frost. Every good alchemical bench should be stocked with at least a few sprigs of wurzel root. It's not particularly useful as a reagent in spells, but it serves quite admirably as potpourri, always important for the off-fragrant benches. Standing animals in the northern wilds. Some excerpts. The northern wilds are literally full of a wild variety of wild animals ready to be enjoyed, observed, or eaten around a campfire as you get drunk with your adventuring buddies. Bucks, easily identified by their massive antlers, are simply male deer and are the greatest source of game in northern Faerun. Deer live in a variety of habitats ranging from the tundra. Anything important here? Panther. The wolf. Oh, here we go. 26 to 36 inches. Shoulder height. So 3 feet tall, basically at the shoulder. So they talked about one that was like 5 feet tall at the shoulder. That's a big ass wolf. Known to thrive in temperate forests. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. Info. Yeah, info. Pass the torch off to her. Now I can't put some clothes on because it makes me feel cool. Alright. We have another door out here. Looks like it leads outside. We'll come back to you. Went through there. The kitchen proper, right? Ooh. And we found some. Oh, Grayson. We found Grayson. Alrighty. We also found kitchen scales. It says scales in the nearby jars of spices give evidence that the food in the mansion is still tasty and well seasoned. Take the scales. So, sounds like we got one of our items. Hope we weren't pissing anyone off by stealing or nothing. But we definitely need them. Grayson Uth. Ah, you must be the envoy from the church that the lady told me about. I'm Grayson Uth, the groundskeeper for the mansion. We're Nico, if I remember right, what the lady said. And this is Verona? Yes, that is us. Do you have a few minutes to talk? Sure, what about? Do you know anything about the curse of the Van Gons? I've lived in the mansion my entire working life, so you bet I know a thing or two about it. I clearly remember the night that old man, Jacinth, the younger brother of the Lady Esmeralda, was taken. That was, 27 years ago now? No, 28 years ago. It was a terrible time, but the family got through it. And then, of course, there was a couple months ago when the good Lord Jacinth was taken. This time, I actually saw the beast with my very own eyes. You actually saw the beast? Tell me about it. I was awoken by a bunch of screaming. Obviously, there was a big to-do going on upstairs, so I threw on my shoes and a coat and ran up the back stairs to see what was wrong. Thess came out of the Lord's suite and told me that the Lord and his sister, now the Lady Jellica, had seen the beast from their window. We decided that she would run into town to get some help and that I would go around and bar the windows and doors. But as I was walking around the downstairs securing all the windows, I saw it, there on the path up the hill. The beast of Neverwinter. I've never seen a wolf so big. It must have been 10 feet at the shoulders and had fire emanating from its feet. Worst of all, its eyes were holes of flame. And I swear it turned to me the moment I spotted it, hundreds of yards away, and it knew I was looking at it, though, through a darkened window. Oh, I've never been so scared in my life. I tell you, there was a bit of the demon in that wolf, a bit of a demon. So what did you do? I'm sorry to say that I ran and I hid. What would you do if you saw a devil dog like that? A 10-foot tall wolf looking at me with big fiery eyes? I think I'd probably piss myself. I know it doesn't make me the bravest person. I'm actually ashamed of myself. I used to be a soldier long ago, and I never feared a man nor any weapon. But there was something about that demon on the hill that filled me with the utter terror. I'm not sure what happened next, but from what I hear, Thess didn't have much success rallying support in town, though she did succeed in rousing everybody from bed so they could run around in a panic. Back here, things were mostly quiet, though I remembered hearing the lady scream her brother's name. When things settled down, I found her sobbing hysterically on his bed in the Lord's suite. She said he just disappeared in front of her, but she could no doubt tell that story better than I can. What do you think of Lady Jellica? A fantastic lady, and a fantastic lady with a capital L, if you get my meaning. She's been through a lot. She has a heart of gold, pure gold. Some of those people down in the village don't get it, but she'd do anything for them within her power. Truth to tell, she does. Don't tell her I told you this, but she's in financial ruin. She should levy a tallage on the villagers to try to raise some money, but she refuses. She doesn't want them to suffer for her family's misfortune, she said. 2 couples wed just in the last month. By custom, they should pay the bride price to the Lord, but they dodged the levy. I begged her to let me go collect it, but she said that money is tight for everyone, and a wedding should be a happy time. They constantly hunt in the ladies' woods up in the hill. I send them bring all manner of deer, mountain goat, fowl, and so forth out of the woods every day. They all think they're sneaky with that, but I see them, and I've offered to go collect the fee she is owed for the hunt, but she just says that they're hungry and trying to feed their families. It sounds like they're taking advantage of her. And never mind the wood they cut all the while, skirting the fees they should pay on that. They were all supposed to give her a day of labor back in Marpenoth, but has she ever enforced that? No. Meanwhile, the mansion falls apart, so it's not like she couldn't use the labor or the funds. Oh, I know it looks grand upon first glance, but I wouldn't look too closely at the foundation if I were you. Sorry, I get a little heated when I think about it all. The way they badmouth her and never realize how much she overlooks. I assure you that it wasn't that way in her grandfather's day. So what do you think of her? I love her, not in that way, of course, but I'd die for her nevertheless. It's surprising that Jellica would keep a groundskeeper around. Not so surprising. The mansion grounds are expansive, and the choice is either to have me keep them up or let them go to seed. Well, I guess she could maintain the grounds, but she has more important business to attend to. Well, Grayson has to go. Please excuse me. Sounds like she's a lady of the people. She clearly cares. Well, she's probably keeping him around just because she wouldn't know what to do with him. We're turning him away all. Alright, outside we go. So let's see where this leads. Outside or a bigger basement? Nope, looks like we're going outside. Which is just as well because I wanted to go check out those buildings. She clearly cares. It sounds like the townsfolk are just going to be filled with people that can't stand her. Yep. And this is our northern hills. We have no reason to go there yet, though. Oop, what's that? Slanter box. Hello there. Chrysanthemums. Mine. Wasn't really used for, but let's find out. What you know there, chrysanthemum? There are many types of chrysanthemum. The most common have showy flowers of many colors and shapes. Well, okay. I don't know why I need some chrysanthemums, but you never know. Maybe Tyr likes it. I'll put it up in his chapel upstairs. Okay, so we have keys for now that and that. Let's go to the church first, I say. See what we have. Use the key, get inside. Alright. We have a book, placard. Okay. Saint Dunstan, last prelate of Neverwinter Nights, who pointed the arms of Tyr in DR 1244 after 38 years of untiring service to the community. Well, alright. Oh, hello. Well, the rest of your crap. What the hell are you? And an altar. Okay. We got doors downstairs and like some soldiers. What the hell are soldiers doing inside a church? Oh dear, look what the cat dragged in. Who are you? He ignores your question, simply sniffing haughtily as though he need not answer you. Why are you here? I made it quite clear to Lady Van Gaunt that if we had to suffer the indignity of these impoverished surroundings, that we at least wouldn't have to be bothered by common riffraff. We have an intimidate option. Listen, you bloated twerp. If you don't change your attitude towards me fast, I'm going to throw the whole damn lot of you out of here. Do you understand me? Failure. Well, that's a pretty bad roll. Yes, I have little doubt that you would allow your vulgar passions to consume you. Fortunately for me, I have 2 burly guards here to protect me, and I'm not unskilled in the martial pursuits either. That means you're outnumbered, so if one of us needs to modify our tone, I suggest it be you. Yeah, I got spells, buddy boy. In case you haven't noticed, this is a cathedral of Tyr, and I'm one of its clergy. Between the 2 of us, it is not I who is out of place. I see. What brings you here, then? My business is none of your concern. It is indeed my concern. Everything concerning Lord Legrin is my concern. The hell's Lord Legrin? Needless to say, this little disturbance combined with your truculence will not go over well with my lord. He is anxious to conclude this marriage agreement, but he must first be convinced that the lady has enough class and refinement. That includes keeping her word. Anyway, do what you must, but try to disturb Lord Legrin as little as possible. Apparently there's a marriage going on. It's a good thing you're taking the lead of our mission here. I simply would have told that get off, but something tells me that wouldn't have gone over too well. Okay, so she apparently housing these doofuses. She's apparently marrying some lord. I wonder if that's because of the curse. Her palace is in hard times, so she needs to marry off quickly. This plain stone side altar is completely empty and obviously hasn't seen use for quite some time. Examine the altar. It is not easily seen in the darkened shadows cast by the dim light, but a tacky black goo covers the altar. Okay, let's touch it. As you touch the substance, it seems to part around your fingers, allowing them to sink within. As your skin is engulfed, a chill extends through your hand and arm, but it is not the chill of the Arctic, but rather that of the grave. For want of a better definition, it seems to be the absence of life that you feel. Most disconcertingly, you feel suddenly isolated. The inner warmth in your core that forever links you to Tyr begins to go cold. You feel your heart racing and panic begin to well up in your mind. Almost before you can think, you yank your fingers back out of the goo and the world becomes instantly brighter. With a start, you realize that, with everything else you were experiencing, you didn't even notice the darkness that was creeping in from the edges of your vision. Are you okay? Yeah, that was just odd. Good, you looked like you were going to collapse from the moment you touched that black stuff there. Is it harmful? It clearly is. Of course it is. Why should I hope for anything different? Well, there's a part of me, a big part of me, that wants to rip this temple up, looking for answers, but I doubt a Tyrion would particularly appreciate that, so I'll let you lead the investigation here. Right, let's go then. Black gooey stuff. I don't suppose I could hit the altar with a blood spell. Maybe the altar alone. Yeah, that didn't just go out. Well, at least we got our buffs. Nothing over there. We have downstairs, I guess. Those guys. I guess let's go downstairs. If we go back there, I got a feeling the guards are going to get mouthy with us. We're still looking for our tier books. Don't see anything yet. Okay. Ooh, we got some dead bodies down here, I'm thinking. Alrighty. We have Lady Helena, DR 1159 to 1226. Lady Esmeralda first, DR 1190 to 1267. We have Lord Jason II, 1247 to 1293. Helena Van Gaunt, Lady Consort, DR 1251 to 1304. Marlene Van Gaunt, DR 1276 to 1284. Man, people ain't doing well. About 53 years, 46 years, and many years. Wow, Marlene did a good job of surviving. So we have more. Grant Rolfson, Lord Consorts, 60 years. Wait, Rolfson, okay. Peregrine, the Just. We saw the bust of that one. The Huntress. Yep. Oh, that's pretty. This we gotta be the main guy, right? Yeah, Lord Jason the First, the Valiant. Sarcophagus. This is the ornately detailed stone sarcophagus of Alred the First, the founder of the Van Gaunt dynasty of Navitrana-Su. Strength. Pry open the lid. Failure. Despite your best efforts, you are unable to budge the heavy stone lid. You will have to find another way. Leave the sarcophagus alone. Okay, well, I don't suppose I could buff myself. Some bull strength here. Open it. Success. You force the lid open to reveal the contents of the interior. Nothing. Strangely, there is no trace of the corpse of Alred. Search. Examine the interior. Failure. Man. Other than a fine coating of dust, you find nothing else of note in the sarcophagus. Leave the sarcophagus alone. Let's come back to that one later. But that was a search check, and nothing good. So, we're missing the body. That's creepy. What else we got? Anything else down here? Nope, I think that's it. Why the hell is his body missing? Is he gonna be all mummies? I hate mummies. Alright, let's deal with these dorks. Unlocking. Very nice door. Specific key for that one. Young soldier, what do you got to say for yourself? Well, what have we here? Looks to be someone who fancies himself all important and all that. You mean important? Yeah, that too. Well, there's a difference yet, Jort. Generally speaking, men want to be one and try, hard not to be the other. It's penis humor. I will kick your ass. Really? Yeah, really. Yeah, really. So what do you need? I'm Nico Ogden, and who are you? Name's Jack Spade. And I'm Breth Burns. We're Lord Legrin's bodyguards. Pardon my young friend, we're the Lord's footmen. You have to remember now that we're in this aristocracy, Breth. We've got social standing and class and all that shit. Yeah, you guys are classy. Yeah. Where'd that locked door go? What, that? He shrugs nonchalantly. Not the slightest idea. You mean you don't care that there's a door right by your bed that you have no idea what's behind it? Not really, cause it's locked. What do you think? What do you think's behind there? Some ex-varch or something? Let me tell you something. If you're looking for spooks, wait till night and then head down them steps over there into the crypts. Ooh. Why? Anything sinister down there? Wow, I must be getting old. I didn't even see you back there, you sweet little Pete. Hey, watch it, buddy. Shut up before you say something that makes me have to kill you. Snicker. You too, man-child. Now you were saying there's something in the crypts? What are you suggesting? Ain't no dead people walking around if that's what you mean. All that talk of ghosts and zombies is just that. Talk. Huh. What are you talking about? All that's for real. I seen the zombie once. What? Where? Home, out in the graveyard behind Peter's. Some dancing witch out there raising a dead person. Really? Did you run, you sissy? Nah, she was dancing naked. I was... What's that word? Mesmerized, you doofus. Yeah, that too. You're full of bull gravy, you are. Yeah, I'm not. I've seen it, I tell you. With these same two eyes, I'm looking at you. Just shakes his head in disbelief. He's got a bit of imagination to him. But no, there's nothing sinister down there. But it's fun to be around all them stiffs when it's dark. Really gets the hair on your neck and to staying on end. Ooh! Ha 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 ha. The undead truly do exist. I've seen them myself. Okay, all you lot want to fool around with children's stories, fine, have it your way. He makes an exaggerated wink in your direction. Dead people walking around is true. What can you tell me about Jellica Van Gaunt? She's comely enough, I guess. I don't think that's what he means. Look, I ain't spoken to the wench at all. Sorry, I mean the lady. That's right, she's high class. By the standards of this town, I guess. Spit. You spit on the floor of Tyr's holy house, you cur. Clean up that at once. Oh, sorry, I forgot. He pulls his sleeve up, passes his hand, and uses it to wipe up the spittle. Good, now do you know anything about the curse of the Van Gaunts? Curse? What are you talking about? Curse? What the? Yeah, that thing's been cursed for 200 years. Ain't heard nothing about that. Is it true? Nah, it can't be. We've had heard about it by now. Why would you think that? We've been told not to talk with these people here. That's what we've been told, sure, but it don't stop us from going to see the tavern wenches, does it? Well, I don't know what you're doing with the wenches, but I ain't talking about no curses. Bah, superstitious fool. Ain't no curse. Thanks for the enlightening conversation, but I need to go. See you around. Come back anytime. I suddenly feel the intense need for a bath and a hearty skin-removing scrubbing with a metal brush. Yeah, I'm right there with you, kid. Go back in here. We got well-dressed bureaucrat Jackhole and another door. That's got to be where the Lord is. Let's see if we can go talk to that guy. Please try not to drag any more mud in here. He's as lovely as the lady back in town. Alright. Aristocrat. Let's see if we can go talk to him. Greetings, sir, and well met. I'm so sorry, my lord. I tried to get rid of... Not at all, Kenswick. We need not be rude to our future subjects. Subjects, am I now? Oh, well, now. Now back to your duties. The butler hesitates, looking at you warily, but obviously decides not to argue with his lord. Very good, sir. I do so apologize if he was rude. In his zeal to serve my interests, he so often fails to consider that others exist. Anyway, I am Lord Stanford, Legrin of Harvendale, and you are... Wait, Harvendale? Someone bitching about Harvendale? She doesn't like Harvendale. And he's the Lord, and they're going to get... Wait a minute. So he's going to marry her, and she hates Harvendale, which means she clearly doesn't like him. Nico Ogden, priest of Tyr at your service. A tyrant, eh? Then I apologize for our presence here in your cathedral. I have every reason to believe it will be very temporary. So what can I do for you? Where is Harvendale? Just at the base of the Great Peaks to the west, my family of the Legrins, which rules Harvendale, has a long history with the Van Gaunts. Oh. Why are you here in Neverwinter? I'm here to negotiate my marriage to the Lady Jellica. I did not realize she was looking to get married. Chuckling, neither did she, I'm sure. Oh, okay, here we go. So he's pushing for the marriage. The negotiations were initiated on our end. She has shown no interest. Nevertheless, she is now in her early 30s, and time waits for no man or woman, if her line is to be continued. And how go the negotiations? Honestly, not good. I do not think she is for the match. But then I do not think she has thought about it enough. I am content to wait for now. Why would you be interested in marrying the Lady Van Gaunt? The question implies that there is something wrong with her. Do you know something I don't? No, the question was an innocent one. The Van Gaunts are a solid enough family with good breeding and a fine pedigree. The lady herself seems healthy enough to bear many gross. To bear many children, and Neverwinter sits on some rich land. That's cool, buddy. That's exactly why you should get married. For this area, at any rate, the match seems a good one from my viewpoint. I don't know if I want to ask him about the curse then. What do you think of Lady Van Gaunt? She seems to be a kindly soul with a fairly good head on her shoulders. I've spoken to her only superficially, though. Let's just go. I must go, please excuse me. As you were then. Yeah. That was gross. That was super gross. As bad as his men are out here, he's just worse. I need to leave. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna hurl. Okay, we've already dealt with the altar, or dealt with. We've already been cursed by the altar, whatever the hell that thing was. We're out of here. That was weird. Oh, that was creepy weird. Alright, now, before we continue further, we should probably cut this video. We will next, of course, go into these other buildings. I think that we may want to hit up the tavern first. Although it looks like it's locked. Maybe we'll go into the one that is unlocked. Whatever. We will do that in the next episode, though. This video's been long enough as it is. Again, my name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.